Hey guys, I'm learning TFT and I'm sharing my learnings with you so that you can learn and I can learn better as well. In this episode of Learning Lab, we're going to dive into a game with 4 Tier 1 Pro Circuit players, Dishsoap, Robinsongz, Setico, and Prestivent. We also have, we have I Wang, who's currently ranked 4. We have Me First or 8th, who's ranked 5. We have David Az, who's ranked 12. So just super stacked lobby. I think Wigwug is rank 49. So all challenger lobby. Many of these TCP players are prepping for the second tournament this weekend on this 15.4b patch. So they're trying to get games in, and I want to dive into their thought process. We're going to go through all of their points of view in parallel and see how their game plan stacks up with each other. I'm probably going to go through mainly the TCP players, but if there's an interesting spot that one of the other players has, then I'll explore that as well. All right, so we'll start off with Dishsoap, and the goal is by the end of this video for us to have a much deeper understanding into the meta, their thought process, what are good conditions and lines to take, make predictions as far as augment selection and line selection as well. So we have a Kennen on board that we can't see yet because I took screenshots at the start so we can try to make stage 1 predictions. Given that it's Scuttle Puddle, I think the first question I always ask is, do we make 10 gold or not? And I've seen more of these top players in this patch try to make 10 than in last patch. But I think by default, we just hold all the units. I think strongest board is going to be very important because, especially in this set, more than previous sets with power-ups, it's just very rare to have a very strong loss streak comp that can stabilize and win out. The one exception that Marcel talked about in his meta discussion was Sorks, mainly because you want perfect items on Karma, like a blue buff JG Guardbreaker, and it can be hard to do that when you are win streaking. But we do have extra gold, so a Sork angle is good. But from this spot, I would probably hold the Kennen pair. I'd probably just buy shop, but probably commit the Ballista with the Shinzao. Okay, he commits the Kennen pair, and I would buy Aatrox and I just buy shop. Okay, we bought shop. We do have Ezreal 2 with open tier. With open tier, I think we want to lean towards AP. We have Callista 2. We could also slam like a blue buff or Shojin and angle toward like a tempo Soul Fighter angle. I like that better than playing around Ezreal. I feel like the Battle Academia lines aren't that great right now. Yumi's not in a great spot. So I think we commit to Callista and Shin. Okay, he just bought the Callista 2. And then I buy the Obuko. Or I think we maybe just try and make 10 here. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4. What's this? So I think we keep the Kennen pair and the Aatrox, and then maybe sell the rest to try and make 10. Okay, so he would rather keep the Obuko over the Kennen pair. And so then he's saying he's willing to give up on the Sork angle early game because he's going to play around this Callista, in which case you just need more frontline. That makes sense. All right, going into stage 2-1. This is Scuttle Puddle. We have extra resources, so we don't need more gold for the first augment. Unless we were trying to go fast 9, which I don't think we were trying to do here. We have a slammable Shojin open bow, which can lead into Arma or Samira. So I think just more items make sense here. Level up with more gold from Scuttle Puddle can help us get to 9. I don't think it's pumping up. I'd probably roll left first. And I'm not sure how I feel between Wandering Trainer and level up. I'd roll left first. And then now between level up and Wandering Trainer. Let's take a look at how augment or emblems look this patch. For 3 emblems, see win rate. I mean, if we get Crystal, that's really good. Duelist is skewed by Crystal cash outs. Strategist, very good. Protector's better on to place on a unit than on a dummy. Star Guardian's good. I mean, you get 3, right? So the odds are decent that you get something solid in this like top half. And you get 6 gold. I feel like it's a coin flip for me between Wandering Trainer and level up. Okay. So then he rolls middle, which I think makes sense with my original logic that on an econ portal level up makes sense because you just get a lot more gold to be able to push levels. He does slam GS over Shojin. I guess GS is more flexible. And if we're saying we want to play around maybe a fast 9 strategy, then and I feel like in the past GS was like not a good item to slam, but now with the new identity change of GS to be damage amp against tanks, it's actually maybe even one of the best slams you can make. Yeah. So you'd almost always rather slam GS over Shojin. Okay, so I need to keep that in mind. Let me actually take notes. So slam GS, one of the best items in the game right now. We have open tier. So off of Carousel, we're 3rd pick. Open tier Shojin would be good. Blue buff would be good. I think we just want to try to preserve HP. We can make a frontline item like Vow for our Xin Zhao. The 3rd pick, we have. We could also no, it's actually not Viego because we're level up. Open tier. I think it's Swain blue buff or Redemption. I think ideally it's blue buff. If we can't get that, if Prestivent wants that, then I think it's probably a belt. What did we end up getting? Did not pick yet. He got a rod. Oh, both of the belts were picked. So he's deciding between vest. Wait, no, Robin took the vest. So between belt and rod, he picked rod. Because it's more gold. The vest, the belt was on a Mundo. Oh, interesting that he wants a rod here. That's surprising to me. Maybe he wants Rage Blade for TF later. Wow, he's on a 4 streak. Item wise, adaptive, Morello. Makes sense as item slams to me. Okay, and then for augments, I mean, more gold doesn't hurt, but probably more items because we get to level 9 and we can get a bunch of 5 costs in. We just want more items. Okay, invested seems just broken here. You get so much gold. Yeah, I think it's just that we go fast 9. Fastest of nines. Roll the dice is decent too. Like the thing with this is our cap won't be that high. But I think we still just take that. No, okay, he's saying take roll the dice. Or sword overflow. I think it's roll the dice. Well, sword overflow gets you BT and double DB, and you have a volley that can come in next. You'd rather have double DB and a BT or roll the dice. And it gives you, I guess, 2% attack speed on this Callista. The benefit of considering this is that we can actually roll this and see if we can find something better. Although I'm not sure what else we would want, because I think we just want items here, which was kind of the original game plan that I said. So I feel like I would roll this to see if something better, but I'm fine with taking that. Okay, he did take sword overflow. We got the volley in with BT double DB off of carousel here. Maybe just take more gold for last pick. And we need Dread, which I think eventually we just want to pick Sky Piercer, and we already have anti-heal. Just probably want tank items, like a vest or belt. Yeah, took vest. And then we hit a volley to, we natural that? I can't imagine we actually rolled. We could do TG. We could do Titans or LW. I like TG. Augment wise, okay, LW. Because he doesn't have shred. Okay. Augment wise, combat probably. Radiant refactor, belt overflow. Sponging. I don't think it's sponging. Radiant item's pretty good. Let me see. Take a look at the Radiant items for this patch. Oh, Radiant GS. Radiant GS is like the most broken Radiant item in the game right now. And we already have a GS. So yeah, I think it's Radiant Refactor GS. It's sponging. Up to 6 champions with 1 or fewer items gain a copy of a random complete item. I guess because we're going 9, we get so much value from that. I almost never take sponging. What item do you want to spread out? I guess it's really just the frontline item right now. All right, and then off of carousel, you probably want the tank item. Oh, I guess a vow would be pretty good. Best. So tier, even though it's on a 1 cost. Lee with a glove would also be good. If we're trying to maximize sponging value, I feel like it's tier. Okay, yeah, he took tier. All right, from this spot, I mean, he's going 9 with a lot of gold. I feel like this is a pretty safe top 4. Although I feel like his cap potential isn't as high because he has level up. But this seems like it could be a top 2 or 3. All right, let's take a look at Prestivent's spot. We have Darius, Yasuo have the orb. We buy shop. Seems like a lot of people really like Darius in the early game. Probably one of the best melee item slams. I've seen a lot of people commit Darius in stage 1. Which can play into you stand like a Sterax or something. You can either re-roll it with Smolder now, heavyweight Smolder instead of Malzahar, or you can play it into like a mech line, into Mentor Mech Rise, or if you high roll a Yone on your level 8 roll down toward that line, then you can play 7 mech. So I think we buy shop. We have open tier. We hold the mech units. Also hold the Janna in case of Crystal, but I think we probably want to make 10 here. I think we're buying the Lucian. I think we're buying the Lucian. We're gonna get another 4 gold here. So we have 8. Sell this 9, 10. And are we willing to sell anything for? I think we're willing to sell the Yasuo question mark for the Janna. No, he's committing the Yasuo. Okay, so he's considering. What this is telling me is Prestivent is considering the Yasuo Bastion reroll line with an open tier. I think you want what, IE Hodge Edge of Night for this line. Yasuo. IE Hodge Edge of Night. I mean, if you go reroll line, I think you want to make 10, but maybe you want more direction first before you sell your bench. Because I think if you hit a Lucian 2, you'd be happy to play that. So I don't think we'd make 10 here. Oh, he decides to get rid of Lucian pair. And maybe that might have been influenced by his item components. Like if he had a Shojin Slam, I think you maybe consider holding on to the Lucian pair. So really need to keep that in mind for stage 1 is having your item components guide your unit holds and whether you make 10 or not. And more proactively thinking about in what situations it makes sense to make 10. Especially on Scuttle Puddle. Alright, augment wise, just more items given that we have more gold. We also want direction, clearer direction. It's not Supreme Cell. Kai'Sa was nerfed. At what cost? Not very good. Is roll left and middle. Are you really considering? I guess we have a Darius, so we could play Darius reroll. Exalted Adventure. All the 2 costs were nerfed. I think it's expected unexpectedness. Roll left and then Shimmer Scale Essence. And that's very good with Malphite. And we have a Stone Plate Slam, but we have no Malphite. We can scout the lobby to see if anyone else is going Malphite. No Malphite. Yes, potentially Malphite, but only 1. Okay, no one else is really angling Malphite. So we could consider Malphite. But I think I'd probably lean towards expected unexpectedness here. Alright, he does do Mogul's Mail. So this should be traditional crew given that he has a tier. Or it could be Saya Rakan. Oh, wait. Now I'm confused. Did he level on 2-1? Like he just wanted to play strongest board. I guess you could also use this to just try to go fast 9 by tempoing. And go into a Bastion legendary setup. So I think it's like this angle, like you're playing around TF Gwen and a bunch Zyra and a bunch of Bastions. This is like the alternative to Fast 9 Varus, but it's like the Bastion version. Okay, so off carousel with tier, I think we just we don't want too many frontline items, but we maximize the value by getting a redemption here. We have open tier for last pick. We probably want Where are we? We probably want like a belt. We could take a rod too. Okay, belt or visage. Item wise, this looks like a guard breaker. And it does seem like we are playing around some kind of tempo bastion angle. Okay, and then he's trying to okay, shadow clone Gnar to try to generate gold. So he definitely is trying to go fast 9 as well into this bastion line. I haven't really seen in what case like you can actually pull this off. So this is very interesting. More items is good. Radiant's good, especially if you get like a Radiant Rage Blade. I don't think it's roll the dice here. I think we roll middle. Left is kind of slow. I like Radiant more. Alright, I think we roll left too. Roll middle. Likes roll the dice more than Radiant Relics. Okay, I guess with this Bastion line, roll the dice is actually quite good on Braum. Mainly on Braum. And right now we can put it on like Yasuo. I can see it. Okay. We are still at 88 HP. That's looking pretty good. We're level 7, 40 gold on 3-3. That's also good. 6 Bastions giving our Gnar plenty of time for the Gambler's Blade to proc. It's so fascinating that he's playing around this 1-star Gnar. I would have never thought to do this. Very interesting line that Prestivent's taking. We have an open cloak. Like we want to make a backline item, which for Gnar, Kraken would be good, but I don't think Kraken's that amazing in this line here. It's okay. It's like serviceable, and we could play Yone as well. And serviceable on TF, so like Bow would be the best pick here. Though we are third pick, so it's unlikely we get it. Oh, we still can. Okay. Open cloak. We can also go adaptive. I think it's either Bow or here, or we could go belt for even shroud. I think it's ideally Bow. Okay, yeah, we got the Bow. And then we did slam the Kraken. We found a Xayah 2, and we have a Rage Blade now. And GS. Still reasonably healthy. We built Gunblade instead of Rage Blade. That's very interesting. We even over red buff. He doesn't have anti-healing. Why Gunblade? Okay, let's see what his game plan is later. Augment wise, invested plus would be good. I don't think we need more belts. Champion Duplicator. We don't have red buff yet. I mean, that's a good reason to not slam red buff on 4-1 in case he was looking for this out, which is actually very good. Who would hold blue buff here? Zyra, yeah. Oh, Zyra or Braum. Although Braum, you want to hold the Radiant PG. But this duplicator, for given that we're trying to go 9, is very valuable. Coordination is also quite good. I think we roll right too, though. I think the duplicator is too valuable. Yeah, 1 buff, 2 buff. In fact, like 1 buff, 2 buff may have been the best outs he could have looked for, which would explain why it doesn't make sense to slam red buff there. Though I feel like I would rather have made Rage Blade GS. Like, wouldn't those be better TF items? Although I guess maybe TF isn't even like an amazing, like Rage Blade is not even amazing on TF. But yeah, it's like very neutral delta. And the only reason I suspect that Rage Blade is common is because people are going into this line from a golden edge spot. All right, so he's kind of biding his time off of carousel. We have Vest Bow. Ideally, we just take a 5 cost. We already have Shred. But no, we don't have Shred. We have Sky Piercer right now. Ideally, we want Sky Piercer later anyway. We probably want like a GS, like a sword or some kind of. I mean, the ideal is we could take a 5 cost for second pick. I mean, we'll take a Lee. If not Lee, then probably sword. What did we take? Take a cloak. Oh no, he took the Lee. Okay. All right. So from this spot, I'm very interested to see what his result is. I feel like if he can hit like a TF, if he can hit his 2 stars, this comp seems very strong. So I feel like he could definitely top 4, but he could also just go 8th if he misses. All right, let's go to Robin's spot. We have a Syndra on board. We have a Vi. We could go Crystal. I'd probably commit the Callista pair and consider playing around that. And probably buy shop. I would not make 10 here. Commit the Soul Fighters. Wait. Okay, I thought for some reason I thought he had a Callista too. Okay, now we probably attempt to make 10. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 plus 4, 12 plus 3, 15. So we can hold on to 5 gold, which I think we hold on to 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I would hold the crystal and the Shen. Or just don't make 10. Okay. We have Tier Glove Cloak. It seems like there's varying degrees of approaches right now for making 10 in stage 1. No great slammable item here other than maybe adaptive. Hodge could angle towards Viego. We're probably looking for some direction. Not Duelist Crown. So I did see Soju take this when he had a Gangplank pair, and then he played this into a Soul Fighter angle with the Duelist Crown like emblem intended to be placed on the Volibear with the Kraken, since you have a Viego with Duelist. I always thought this would be played into an Ash angle, but the line that Soju took was pretty interesting. I don't think it's Exalted Adventure after all the 2 costs got nerfed, and it's not this. So I think we roll right 2. And we already have the Soul Fighter start. But it's not a great spot. I don't like any of these. I'd probably roll right 2 first, though. Okay, now roll right and then take level up. Investment strategy can also work if we're playing a reroll line, given that we have extra gold from Scuttle Puddle. If we were playing like a Malphite reroll, that would make sense, but I think in this spot, it's just level up. Okay, so we saw that both Dishsoap and Robin took level up here. We're playing Crystal, which means we need to stabilize into a strong late game comp, which looks like to me it's probably going to be Sork. That was actually part of Marcel's meta discussion around how to lost streak into it. So Sorks would be the best, but we can play into other 4 cost lines as well. Also play into 7 mech. We are second pick. We're not even first pick. If we want to play into Karma, blue buff would be good. Another tier rod. If we want to play into mech, itemization is more flexible. I think Swain tier would actually be the best for Robin's spot. Or Rod, probably. Okay, so what did he get? It looks like he might have gotten the tier. I can't really tell. Yeah, it looks like he got the tier. So interesting that he's holding on to this Kale pair. Why? I don't know. Okay. Still, I think item-wise, it's probably eventually blue buff. Augment-wise, oh, maybe it's just to help him lose streak better. Okay. More items to like he needs rod. Oh, invested plus like this is just the same situation as Dishsoap, but actually what we learned from Dishsoap is double econ on an RE econ portal. Like even if you hit all your 2-star 5 class, you don't have enough items to itemize all of them and your combat power is lacking. So I don't think it's actually this. I think it's a roll F2. Like we're playing Crystal and we have time to make good items. So I think out of these three, I would roll F2. Maybe Robin has a different. I guess maybe relative to Dishsoap's spot, because he was full streaking, Robin has more time to just sit on this above like 80 gold to like get the free rerolls. So maybe like my instinct initially with Dishsoap is to take invested plus, but maybe in this spot it's actually makes sense. Okay. Yeah. So the difference is that Dishsoap was streaking and he values current power, whereas Robin is lose streaking, so he doesn't mind taking the delayed power and getting extra rolls. So Robin will also be going fast 9, which indicates to me he's probably playing around fast 9 Varus. We saw that Prestivent is going fast 9 Bastion, which is more so playing around TF. In Varus, we could do blue buff. We do want IE. And so off Carousel, we probably want a sword. Sword also gives us this Karma, which maybe if we just natural Karma 2, that'd be good. We do take the Karma off Carousel. And then we hit the, wow, we have a Varus pair. Varus pair on 4-1, level 955 gold. And a dupe. Okay. Doesn't Robin just win the game? And he has a TF pair, which means that Prestivent's kind of screwed. Item wise, Stone Plate, Vow, and then Morello on RTF. We roll down, duplicate whatever 5 cost we don't hit, and win the game. It seems like, oh my god. 4-2, loading into 4-2 with this board. And then he's going to get the crystal stacks. We just want combat at this power or more items. Sponging. We saw Dishsoap take sponging. Bronze for life got nerfed like 2 patches ago. Even though this has a lot of traits, unclear whether that's worth it. Radiant Relic seems pretty good as well. 6 champions with like a vow or I don't know how to value sponging. If Robin takes sponging here too, then that just maybe this is more broken than I think. I would roll right and probably lean towards Radiant. Okay, Robin rolls it first, like I would have. I'd probably roll right. Belt Overflow seems pretty solid. I'd still probably prioritize Radiant over that. Interesting. Okay, so Water Lotus is pretty good, but I think Out of these, I'd probably take Belt Overflow. Okay. Now Robin's spot looks illegal. Like, seems like he just wins the game. Especially because we saw that Dishsoap wanted to go 9, right? Or Prestivent wanted to go 9, and then Dishsoap wanted to also go 9 around like an AD angle. Like, actually, he was holding the Bastions. I didn't even notice this when I was looking at him the first time around. Dishsoap wants to go 9 and play around the Bastions as well. Okay, let's look at Setico's spot. This game is very interesting to think about approach to fast 9. Especially when the whole lobby's also attempting to go fast 9. So I buy shop. Don't make 10. We have Rod Tier. Hail on Scuttle Puddle with Rod Tier seems pretty solid. Although I think the optimal build now is red buff GS plus some rod item. So lacking bows, maybe Kale's not that amazing. But I'd probably still hold it. We do have hold heavyweight, so I think we buy heavyweight here. And then like playing around the Lucian seems to make the most sense here. Oh, okay. I didn't see Cat as the option. I mean, this is strongest board. And then we throw in the Callista at 4 to get Executioner. Hodge, Edge of Night, and Nasher is, I believe. But you can also play... Wasian was playing a lot of Cat item holding for Rise. Playing around Mech. Makes 10. We got a bow drop, which can be Void, Open Rod, or Rageblade Open Tier. Rageblade Open Tier is not as good, though that could be Zaya. I don't think we're picking up the Zaya here, though. We can play into like tempo into Star Guardian angle. I think right now we just need an augment that gives us direction. Upward mobility, same logic as level up, very good in this Scuttle Puddle. Caretaker's Chosen is actually not bad too, because we were able to get to level 7 much quicker. But given the portal, I feel like it's left. Okay, he likes Caretaker's Chosen, I think. Yeah. As that makes sense, we have extra gold, so you want items. Problem is against all the other like players that are going fast 9 with level up, we're gonna have to play around 4 costs. I mean, we can reroll at 7. I guess this could be like it could also be a heavyweight reroll line with Smolder, or but given that this is his opener, it looks like this is leaning towards a mech angle. We can slam Void. We can get JG. We don't have a AP item holder. Okay, we want blue buff would be good. Tier here. Open bow, open rod. Glove for JG. We don't have. I'm at a loss as to what his approach is with these item components. Okay, takes Yasuo with a glove. Tells me he wants to play around like this kind of mentor mech rise angle or 7 mech angle. Or karma, like 6 sword karma, though we are missing Lucian and we have JG Guardbreaker now. We could play around Karma. If we want to go Rise, we also have Nasher, Guardbreaker. I feel like we could go in any number of directions here. Roll the dice is pretty good with Mech. Play around Yasuo, Volley, Yone, Lee. I think we roll left and right. Okay, I assume he rolled quality over quantity first, and then he probably valued. Did he value Water Lotus over Pandora's items? Water Lotus would seem to angle more towards Sork. Because if you're playing around Rise, they already have crit, and so I feel like that's less valuable. Alternatively, we could go towards, well, which he would value over Roll the Dice. Which kind of tells me he already wants to angle towards Sork. Yeah, so that's just probably just Water Lotus. Okay. And now he is holding all the Sork units. He slammed the Void Staff. He has JG, Guardbreaker, Nasher instead of blue buff or Shojin for Karma. And then off of Carousel, he would like to take the Karma here. Or another belt, actually. So that way you could build JG, Guardbreaker. Missing Morello. Actually, he doesn't even need to build JG, sorry, because he has Jewel Water Lotus. So this is actually Guardbreaker, Nasher. I think he wants belt. And it has a cannon, which we're missing right now. So I think it's actually Sword Karma or belt cannon. You take a glove? Oh, he took a glove on the Rise. He took that over the... Okay, Robin took the Karma first. So he took that over the belt. Which I think makes sense. Like, we do want Rise on our board. We do want more gold. And extra gloves are always good with Water Lotus, so I could see it. We got Radiant GS on Rise. We're using Rise as an item holder for Karma right now. And then augment-wise here, probably just want combat. And then go for a high cap for, like, if you hit your board. Lucky gloves. Oh, we already have a TG here. Plus we have Water Lotus, so gloves get more value. We don't need more AP because Sorks already have a lot of AP. I think we just want more burst rather than more tank items. So I think it's roll left, right. Although we don't even have that many good holders for TGs. Because like we already have a ton of items, so I don't think it's more TGs. So I think roll left and middle. Not max cap. Okay, he did take... Interesting, he took Belt Overflow over Call to Chaos. I feel like more gold here isn't necessarily even bad. The 3 snipers focuses is quite good. I guess a bunch of emblems is not good. That would be a low roll, but I mean, dual tanks here it's not horrible. And then from Setico's spot here, he rolled down to 20, has only 1 karma. This spot looks just okay. And then off Carousel, we have open belt. We still need anti-heal. We have open bow, so we just probably want rod greater than bow here. For second pick, yeah, just volley with rod, which he gets. All right, he is low HP. I think it depends how quickly he's able to hit this karma too. He has good items across the board. I think this could be like a 4th or 5th. But it looks like I would predict Robin won this lobby. Let's see what happens. Robin won the lobby. Setico got second, stabilized very hard with that. Dishsoap got third with, also went this Bastion. So Prestivent also went the Bastion route, and then looks like he missed on a lob the board. So very fascinating. Both Dishsoap and Prestivent went this fast 9 Bastion angle. So this was Prestivent's spot, and Dishsoap when did Dishsoap went into it from a Soul Fighter mid game, but he was just holding the Bastions as he was leveling up. It does look like, let's see from a win rate standpoint. If we compare Strategist Varus here to this Bastion line, Varus has a higher win rate, but it looks like this board, it really depends on your items. If you have Varus items, then this is probably better. If you have Gwen and TF items, you can also just play around volley. He didn't even play, Dishsoap didn't even play around Gwen because Setico hit the Gwen. Gwen synergizes with Swain and Shinzao for Soul Fighter Sork. Volley synergizes with Braum and Shen for Luchador Edgelord. Interesting. So if there's ever a fast 9 angle, I should really consider holding the Bastions along the way. Yeah, fascinating game. Okay. So one of my big takeaways is actually that slamming GS is very valuable right now. We have GS here, we have Radiant GS, 2 GSs here. We have GS on TF here, GS on this Yumi. Yeah, lots of GSs across the board. And seems like Fast 9 is a lot more viable now, albeit this was a Scuttle Puddle game, but with reroll nerfed across the board, there's a lot more time and less pressure in the mid game, taking less damage, and so Fast 9 might be back in certain situations. All right, I hope you learned something from this. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.